Are you a comic book fan ready to dive into one man's massive comic book collection of over 20,000 comic books spanning over 60 years of collecting from Golden Age to Silver, Bronze to Copper, all the way through to the Modern Age? Well, I'm Tim Aslin, and I'm going to take you through them all, one short box at a time, A to Z. Strap in, because these are Marty's Comics. All right, everybody, hello. So this is the first time that I'm actually doing a Twitch stream while I record. So I'll edit out all of the junk, but for anybody who ends up watching this on Twitch live, hey, hello, I'm Tim. Nice to meet you. So we left off after finishing box number 1 of the Avengers out of 3. Today, we're going to start box number 2. I did a little research on my end. In this box, we range from issues 156 of the Avengers all the way to 270. Most books are in there. There's a couple that aren't, but just a couple. Of those, that grouping 156 to 270, we've got 35 minor keys and 1 major key, so something to look forward to in this box. And the major key is a pretty cool one. So stick around. We'll get to it at some point. We'll figure out when. I know when, but you'll have to wait and see. Okay, so our first book is The Avengers, number 158. It's our first key of this box. So there we go. Let me scoot over a little bit. Here we are, 158. Why is this a minor key? Well, it's the origin and first appearance of Graviton and the Battle of Wonder Man versus Vision. That's pretty cool. So, pretty sweet book. Obviously, we got Vision and Wonder Man going at it. So let's see what it says about this book. Is there a description? Yeah. So Vision's frustration and fear that Simon Williams will now replace him boils to a head, and the two come to blows when Jarvis turns away a distress call. It acts to wake the team up to what they've become. They quickly regroup in pursuit of Graviton and new and incredible dangerous threats. I'm going to guess that's what that says. There are a lot of typos on this thing that I'm using, which is my comics on Comic Connect, which is great. I mean, I did so much with this to log everything, and it links to cover price so I can kind of get a sense of the fair market values. Or if I want to look at what the grading would be, cover price has that too. So it's pretty great. Really nice book. Wonder Man versus the Vision. Colors are amazing. So next up, all right, so we're jumping to, and if you didn't notice here, see this right here? That is my local comic book store. This is not like a paid ad or anything. I just love this store. It's called Revenge of, and I started getting my new modern books pull listed there. And they're so awesome over there. I love what they're doing. Their social media is really cool. They do podcasts, they have events, they do contests. They've got pinball, they do pinball tournaments. I think they do gaming of some sort, like board game type stuff, but I haven't gotten into that yet. But they're great. They're so good. Their website, you can do your whole poll and figure out what you want and pre-order. Let's move on to issue number 161. This is, wow, not gonna lie, that's a wild cover. It is the debut of Wonder Man's red costume. Oh, I honestly didn't even know he had a red costume. Oh yeah, I did. He's black and red, right? The costume. And previously kind of green and yellow and red. All right. I don't know much about Wonder Man. I do know that there's a show coming up, I believe. So I'm excited for that. We'll see how it is. Agatha All Along just started, watched episodes 1 and 2. Those are really cool, fun times. So what's cool about this book? Let's see. The Avengers are attacked by Ant-Man, as you can see on the cover, who seems to have no recollection of anything that took place after Avengers Volume 1, number 1. Well, he doesn't even know that he's in a comic book, to be honest. They defend themselves without fighting back terribly hard and manage to subdue their friend. They attempt to call past Avengers to jog his memory, but Thor is in Asgard, Quicksilver is in the Great Refuge, and Hawkeye is busy introducing the two-gun kid to the wonders of halter tops. Wow, what a weird description. before they can get Hank Pym back to his old self, good old Ultron attacks. Well, damn. What I'm messing around with, let me show it to you right here. It is this. So it's just this is my database that I've logged everything into, so you can kind of get a sense of what I'm looking at. I'll throw this up every once in a while. You can kind of compare to the quality of the digital image of these covers with the actual book. Pretty good. Colors are really, really vibrant on this particular copy. And as you can see, you got Scarlet Witch just getting eaten up by some ants. I mean, they all are, but Ant-Man's back there really having a go at everybody. Never not problematic, I guess. We're going to skip one issue here and go on to 162. So this is the first appearance of Jocasta, and there's no description, so oh well. Let's see, who was the writer? Jim Shooter was the writer on this. George Perez cover, amazing. As per usual. What more could you ask for? It's a cool book. Let's see. We got Ultron just kicking butt all over the place and getting potentially his butt kicked. Who knows? Chances are he doesn't win out in the end, right? It's called Showdown with Ultron. This is it. The Bride of Ultron is actually the title of this book. But there you go. First appearance of Jocasta. Issue 165. Why is it important enough to give it the minor key label? It's called Hammer of Vengeance. Hammer of Vengeance. All right, so what do we got going on? We got Count Nefaria, or Nefaria. Let's say it's Nefaria. Has stolen and multiplied the powers of the Lethal Legion and has turned them against the Avengers. One thing is certain about the Avengers, though. You can put them down. I don't know where this is going. But they flat out refuse to stay down. Oh, that's a little less well written than I expected. I would say you could put them down, but you can't keep them down. Right? But that's just me. In the efficiency of writing. So, again, we got Jim Shooter on this one. So, right here, there's that description. We got Jim Shooter, George Perez again, Mike Esposito, John Byrne. Man, this is a good group, gotta say. I've never read this, but, it looks cool. There you go. You can compare the two right there. Pretty good copy. All right, let's move on. So we're at 165. We're going right into 166. Oh, I know why this is important. This is issue 166. It is the first, not the first. Wonder Man joins the Avengers. All right, new team member. That's exciting. This is called Day of the God Slayer. Oh, okay. Even you, Thunder God. Cool. All right, well, let's figure out what's going on in this. Nefaria, who we met last issue, is blasting through the Avengers. Hank Pym does what he does best, runs to the lab. Oh, burn. The Avengers put up a good stand, but they succeed primarily through luck and soon realize how much they need to work out amongst themselves. Well, it is the Avengers. That's kind of their thing, right? It can't be the Avengers without a little internal squabbling, right? Next best thing to all the other teams, like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, there's always a little internal drama, right? That's what families are all about, right? Well, this is a nice cover. Same team, except we got on the cover, the inker was Ernie Chan, but we still got John Byrne, George Perez, Jim Shooter, Pablo Marcos, Phil Rachelson down here. Letterer. I don't really mention the letterers much, but I think it's worth mentioning because what a tough job. Denise V. Wall. Maybe she's related to Deborah Ann Wall. I don't actually know if that's spelled the same way. Probably not. And then our editor-in-chief and editor, Archie Goodwin. Cool. That's a nice looking book. Like I've said many times now already, in really good shape. So let's carry on to the next one, which is going to be the next issue, number 167. 167 is the first appearance of Karina Tuvan, first meeting between the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, that's exciting. This is obviously the earlier version of the Guardians. So anyway, what was going on in this one? A spacecraft appears in orbit, and the Avengers are summoned to prevent a collision with the SHIELD orbital platform. Upon their arrival, they learn that the station is the one that serves as home to the decidedly non-hostile, that's good, Guardians of the Galaxy. Meanwhile, back on Earth, strange events take place during Janet Pym's first fashion show. Man, no comment. Honestly, the 70s... we're doing what they were going to do, I guess. So this one's called Tomorrow Dies Today. But really nice cover. It's looking good. You got Beast flying through there. That's fun. Man, this art is cool. I really do give it to them. This era of art was, I just am a big fan of it. George Perez doing his thing. That's so cool looking. Let us jump ahead a little bit to the next issue. Beautiful cover. This is issue 172. Hawkeye rejoins the Avengers. Good for you, Hawkeye. You worked through your problems. You figured it out. Now you're just one of the gang again. This is, oh God, this is called Holocaust in New York Harbor. Oh, I don't know what to say about that. Why we got to use that term? I feel like it's inappropriate. So let's just leave it for what it really was and not use it to be dramatic. So we got no description. Mostly the same team: Jim Shooter, George Perez, Terry Austin is the cover inker, Sal Buscema. Again, I've probably said this 10 times. I don't know how to say that name. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm sorry if I'm not. Actually, somebody tell me, please, if I'm not saying it right. And then we've got Klaus Janssen. I'm going to guess that's a soft J. On the inking, and Phil Rachelson, on the color. And again, Denise V. Wool. One or the other, as the letterer. So really nice. I love this gradient cover. This is... Actually, I haven't been looking closely. Does this predate the newsstand direct edition? It does. I'll have to look up a little bit about that. I always forget what the date cutoffs of when that was. But as you can see right here, we do have a barcode. So I'll have to do a little research and I'll get back to you. But anyway, maybe it's a newsstand. I don't think that's what was going on at this point. But I'm not an expert. But I'm getting there. All right, so let's carry on here. We do another little jump, a few issues to our next minor key, which is issue number 175. This is an origin and first cover appearance of Korvac in his cosmic form. Wild cover. I love this negative space style of artwork. The writer, we add David Michelini. I mean, that's what I'm going to guess. And Jim Shooter. And our cover penciler is Dave Cockrum, who I've never heard of. So, but I dig this cover. It's really cool. And then a lot of the same people. Penciler Dave Wenzel, cover inker Terry Austin, inker Pablo Marcos, and again, Phil Rachelson and Denise V. Wall doing their thing. This is called The End and the Beginning. Exclamation. For somebody, but since there is a description, let's read it. The Avengers return from facing the Collector and start pooling resources to track down the identity and location of their foe. Their desperation turns to recruitment, though they don't realize their help has already been tainted. That is vague. But so be it. Looks like a cool issue, though. You got Vision blasting through up in the upper left. And the usual suspects on the cover. Cool looking issue, though. Let's move on. I might have to take a pause here because I think the groceries have arrived. Let's do one more. Let's jump down to... Oh, yeah. I know what's going on here. 2 issues later, 177, we have The Hope and the Slaughter. Pretty grim. This is a key because it is the death of Korvac. The Avengers face off against Michael Korvac, but they soon realize that they do not have the power needed to stop him. They face the onslaught anyway, hoping to fight for the good of the world and mankind. But we know what happens. Korvac dies. Bummer. Bummer for him. It looks like, I mean, the cover's really leading us to believe that everybody else dies, but these who lay dying and then not dying, apparently. But Korvac dies. So, but looking good. We got Jim Shooter, Dave Cockrum, Terry Austin, Dave Wenzel, Pablo Marcos, Ricardo Viamonte, Nel Yomtov, and Denise V. Wall. Good group there. This is a cool one, though. I like it. Always the drama on the covers. All right, so next up, we've got 178. And, of course, classic Beast cover here. Really great looking. Yellow background, very vibrant. Here, let's do a little comparison. Check it out. I mean, damn, looking great. So, Night of the Beast. This is, let's see, what's important about this bad boy? It's called the Martyr Perplex. Oh, okay. It's the first appearance of the Manipulator. I have no idea who the Manipulator is, to be honest. Let's see what's going on. The Beast has a strange encounter with a nameless individual on the way home from a nightclub. Wow.
Wake your ass up because it's time to go beast mode.
Beast just hanging out in nightclubs, I guess. And it starts him thinking about his past and his choices. Before he can get things sorted out, he's manipulated into the theft of an unusual object, and the object's owner knows he's coming. All right. So we got a little manipulation by the manipulator, making Beast not be himself. This is written by Steve Gerber. We've got art by Carmine Infantino. Cover artist is John Buscema. Penciler is Carmine Infantino. Inker is Rudy Nebres? Damn. Colorist Nel Yomtov, and letterer is Joe Rosen. So that's cool. Looking good. Everybody's chasing after Beast. I guess this guy right here is the Manipulator. Visions of death, barroom brawls, and the maniacal Manipulator, all in the most offbeat Avengers epic ever. Cool. Okay, now, some of you, obviously, if you know these books, you know where we're going right here, right? We are going to jump to a major key. And it's honestly, this is a really cool cover. This is one that I think a lot of people have been looking for recently as the movies become more popular. But, pause, I'll pull it out first. It is issue 181, and it is the first appearance of Scott Lang. The issue is titled On the Matter of Heroes. This is a great cover. I mean, really, this is pretty iconic. So let's read it. We got Henry Peter Gyrich, or Gyrick, it's Gyrick, right? Yeah, is ready to reinstate the Avengers priority status, but he has conditions. First among them, cut the team down to 7 members of his choosing, one of whom has never been an Avenger before. Before the new group can get its bearings, Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch are cut down by forces known only to the reader. That's exciting. So yeah, Gyrick, whichever it is. We all probably recognize most blatantly in this form from the X-Men and X-Men 97 animated shows. So, there he is, chilling. And then obviously he is not on the cover, but Scott Lang shows up in this one for the first time. So, if you're a big Ant-Man fan, or just a Scott Lang fan, or, I don't know, maybe you're just a Paul Rudd fan, and you want to get your hands on the first appearance of the character that he played, this would be the one. So, we got David Michelini writing, George Perez cover inker Terry Austin, penciler John Byrne, inker Gene Day, Francois Mouly, colorist, and Elaine Heinel, I think, is the letterer. But yeah, what a great issue. This one's in really good shape too, as you can see. Let's compare it to this guy here. There's the digital image next to the actual copy, and I'm not gonna lie, that digital image is not colored very well and looks a little oversaturated. But maybe it's just me. I think the actual copy looks great. So, let us carry forward as we do. On to the next. We got a grouping here of keys. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 6 out of 7 in the next grouping. So let's barrel through. A lot of people joining the team, obviously, after Gyrich doing his thing. So, here we go. All right. I noticed recently when I was... some of you may know about this. Key Collector is a app that does kind of a rundown of the major keys and spec kind of data on what's selling and what's not selling and what the trends are and stuff like that. And they have a top 10 every week that comes out. It's really cool. Very helpful. And I'm pretty sure not so long ago this issue was on the top 10, I think. I'll have to go look back through it. But anyway, this is 183. This is called the The Redoubtable Return of Crusher Creel, and it is important and a minor key because Miss Marvel joins the Avengers. All right, so Crusher Creel's pieces have all been delivered to the same landfill, allowing him to pull himself back together. His plan is to head to hero-free South America. Who knew? But a random encounter with Hawkeye puts a stop to that. Trivia. Whoa, trivia. I've never seen this before. Trivia. Check the letters column for a letter written by an 18-year-old Kurt Busiek. I don't know who that is. That's not really... I guess that's trivia. Is it trivia? That's just a factoid. It's a request. A factoid request. Okay. No idea what that's all about, but... oh well, same team pretty much working on this one. Next issue. We're going to go in order here. 184. Somebody else joins the Avengers. This is a minor key because Falcon joins the Avengers. It's called Death on the Hudson. The Avengers face the Absorbing Man and his hostage. Beast manages to use his brain to keep Creel on the ropes for a while, but that changes when the reinforcements show up. Cool. There they are. Miss Marvel has joined the Avengers, only to fall before Crusher Creel. Yeah, right. And then obviously we get Falcon showing up. He's not on the cover though, but he's in the Avengers now. I thought he already was. Honestly, what do I know? Next we got the next issue, 185. We got Quicksilver. That's a beautiful cover. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, the twins. The Yesterday Quest. This is called The Yesterday Quest. It's the origin of Quicksilver and the origin of Scarlet Witch. That's pretty sweet. I think we're probably going to see both of them again in the movies. Definitely feeling like we're going to see Scarlet Witch come back. So what happens in this? Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch have traveled near Wundagore Mountain, seeking answers to questions about their past. Though initially they find only more questions, they are put in contact with those who know more. Great. Looking good. Next issue. This is another cover I've seen over the years. Very cool. This is issue 186. This is the first appearance of, I don't know how you say this. Is it Kython? Chython? Kython. Let's say Kython. First appearance of Magda, origin of Scarlet Witch, even though we got that in the last one, and the origin of Quicksilver. So we're just getting a continuation of their origins in this one. Minor key. It's called Night of the Wundagore. That's all the information I have. John Byrne, Terry Austin, John Byrne, Dan Green, Roger Stifler? No, it's not that. Jim Novak. Great cover, though. The most bizarre Avengers epic ever told. We'll be the judge of that, but we do have Mordred the Mystic entering. Let's see. Next up, issue number 187. Very important issue if you're into the Agatha show and lore and everything that's going on with that, because this is the origin of the Darkhold. It's called The Call of the Mountain Thing. The Avengers arrive at Wundagore and learn of the long and storied history of the entity that has possessed Wanda. They are soon separated, and most of their number are captured, leaving only the Beast free to succeed where the others have not. Wow. So there you go. The Darkhold. Somebody wants this, right? This is a cool issue. Artwork looks really nice. Who did that? John Byrne. Terry Austin is the cover inker. Penciler is John Byrne. Yeah, John Byrne's just rocking it here. Cool cover. In fact, having said that, the next key issue is a key because of John Byrne. It is issue number 189, and there you have it. We've got, literally is what it says is classic cover art by John Byrne. This is Wings and Arrows. Honestly, what year did this come out? This came out in 79. When I started collecting, I feel like, which I didn't start until late 80s, early 90s, but I feel like my friend whose older brother was a big comic book guy is basically the reason I even started to get into them. Is like he showed me some really cool issues. And I swear this is one of the issues he showed me, because my, however old I was, 10-year-old self saw this dude Hawkeye rocking this outfit, and I don't personally think it's a cool outfit now, but I sure did when I was 10, and he had a bow and arrow, which is something I could get my hands on or just make out of a piece of wood and string. And so I went a little nuts and I ran around with a bow and arrow. I didn't make a costume or anything, but I definitely pretended I was Hawkeye. So what am I going to, that's all I have to say about it, I guess. So let's see. This is called Wings and Arrows, classic art by John Byrne. I already said that. What's it about? Falcon returns to active duty, so Hawkeye is bumped from the roster. That's rude. It's not a football team. Very much against his will, he gets a new job as a security chief for a technology company. What a fall from grace. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'm in the Avengers. Nope, you're off the roster. Go find a job. All right, I'll take the security job. Woof. So anyway, at this technology company, he faces a very unexpected opponent. Meanwhile, Gyrick takes drastic action to try and control the team. Man. I just love I think this is actually kind of what made Marvel Comics fun for me, is that they really, as super powerful and have abilities and all this stuff as they all are, they are mostly all just kind of just regular old people when it comes down to it. I mean, not everybody, right? Thor's not a regular dude. Although Thor's alter ego was in the books, not in the movies, be that as it may, but I just love this idea of Hawkeye being basically demoted and then taking a security job. What a bummer for him. He can't escape being a hero, though, obviously. It says, who is the surprise supervillain Hawkeye battles alone? I don't know. Actually, we don't know. But if you read the issue, you would find out. Either way, he gets some crap security job, and then some supervillain shows up there. It's just inescapable. What a life these guys all led. I am going to take a break, so I guess I'm going to sign off. I'm going to sign off now. What did we do? Like an hour and something? So yeah, there you go. I'm sweating. The lights are hot. The whole place is warm. I got to take a break. Thank you for joining me, looking through Marty's comics, talking about them. It's been a good time. I wish I had some sort of sign off, but I really don't. So maybe I'll come up with something. One thing to keep in mind, at some point in the near future, I'm going to start a Whatnot, which is the online live auctions. And I'm going to start putting some of these books up. So find Marty's Comics over on that. You can find us at Marty's Comics on Instagram, TikTok, throwing some TikToks up there, and obviously this YouTube page. I'm going to make little fun shorts here and there and stuff like that. So keep an eye out. We'll also have the Twitch stream. It's just an easy way to get this out there if anybody wants to watch live, and also just for me to be able to edit these episodes together. So there you have it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you next time. Thanks. Goodbye.